here at Marian Electric Yachting, and we're here with Alex Marian, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his company, and let's get started.
So Justin, first of all, it's nice to have you here in Austria. We're at the headquarters of Marian Boats in Strobel, Wolfgangsee. And this is actually the place where all of our boats are getting built together and then sent out all over Europe and even to the States. We have a dealer. So yeah, this is the town where the Marian boats are born.
Right on. Yeah, so I mean, can you share, like, you guys have been building boats for how long?
We're in the market for over 20 years. My father started this business in the year 2000 when he came from Romania all the way to Austria and wanted to start a small business to earn some money and then just move back, I guess. And then me and my brother, we were born, and then they wanted to pretty much stay in Austria, and they built their first electric boat back in the days, which had a 2 kilowatt engine, and it was used for rental companies. And then he kind of liked building boats, and then the technology started improving. The automotive industry invested a lot in new technology, higher or bigger battery packs, bigger engines. And this is how then we started to develop ourselves. Our boats got bigger, the powertrains got better, the hulls were more efficient, and now we build boats up to 450 kilowatt.
20 years ago, I mean, what made your dad decide to go electric over the traditional combustion engine?
Yeah, nowadays everyone would say because it's more environmentally friendly.
Hmm.
But back in the days, here in Austria, we had limitations on our lakes where we were not allowed to drive with petrol boats during the months of July and August. And then it was actually the only option. So
Hmm.
either electric boats or no boats, or boats without any engine.
Yeah.
So he pretty much grew into it without being aware that it could develop in such a good and positive way.
Hmm.
And the thing is, the experience that you have on an electric boat when you are out on the water and it's pure silence and you don't hear anything around. It's like the nicest boating experience ever.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we were out earlier, and it's just it's a total different experience being on a boat where you're not smelling fumes and it's quiet. And maybe can you talk a little bit about what are some of the challenges that you've faced? Maybe not challenges, but kind of insights. What's it like working with electric propulsion?
Yeah. Look, we are quite lucky and fortunate that here in Austria we have legislations where you're not allowed to drive with petrol boats, so that makes it quite easy to sell these boats.
Hmm.
But obviously, as more boats are being produced, there's a limited space on the water. So strategically, from a point of business, we have to think about our future and how we want to expand. We are a family business, so for us, we don't want to grow too fast. So we want to grow steady and healthy. And our main challenge is that a lot of people compare electric boats to electric cars, and that's just not the case because electric boats, they are more limited in terms of range because you have more traction and more usage of power. And once we start competing with petrol boats, we as electric boats, we're at a much higher price point, and we don't have as much range as them, and the infrastructure is not there. So that's pretty much the biggest challenge at the moment. That most of the harbors on the coast or on salt water, they're not there yet. It will change. A lot of superchargers are coming in to help us, but it will take some time. And at the moment, our main focus is to stay in areas where you don't need such a great range.
Hmm.
For that, electric boats are perfect now. And then once the batteries get a little bit better and you have even more range, then I think we will start to expand to bigger areas as well.
What are some of the technological challenges that you think are preventing electric boats from being mainstream, becoming mainstream?
Obviously, the infrastructure, that's more or less the biggest problem that we have at the moment. Because
Charging network.
the charging network,
Yeah.
I've been traveling to so many different locations with our electric boats, and the best example is Monaco. We've been with our boats at the Formula One Grand Prix,
Yeah.
and we had 4 boats there. But then all of the charging ports, we had no 400-volt charging socket. So that meant that charging was either very slow or not possible at all. Um, Good thing about Monaco is that they have some supercharger from Aqua Superpower,
Yeah.
and that was thankfully our only chance to charge the boats. Otherwise, we would have had a huge problem.
Wow.
And there you can see that's actually the biggest part, because if someone wants to buy an electric boat and he's not able to charge it, then the case is over. The conversation is over. So you cannot even try to convince him, because he needs power and he needs a charging station. So I think that's the biggest challenge that we have.
Just really having available charging networks
Yeah,
anywhere
yeah,
people would want to go. Yeah.
absolutely. A lot of these companies that want to build supercharging stations, they have to deal with problems that they don't get the legislation.
Mm-hmm.
They are not allowed to install it in different marinas, because obviously the marina also wants to earn some money with it, and it's just like in general a huge problem.
Yeah.
Um, a lot of marinas say we don't want electric boats because they are dangerous, and start opening up the cases when the first electric boats came out. But technology has evolved at such a rapid pace
Mm-hmm.
that now the boats are, or the electric boats are all built to European norms. And as long as you follow these guys, they are safe and up to the state's technology.
Yeah, there now. I guess by now there's plenty of electric boats sitting at marinas, and really haven't been a problem in the last number of years. Can you talk a little bit about battery technology?
Mhm.
Is that, I guess, the current state of it? And
I mean, as I said, we have the experience for many, many years, and a lot of people ask us what is the life expectancy of a battery,
mm-hmm.
and usually we say around 10 years, dependent really on the usage also, but also on the storage. And the thing is with electric boats, here they're used seasonally. So you only use them for 6 months, and the other 6 months are put in a winter storage.
Mm-hmm.
So the degradation is not so high, and also people they drive their boats only for, let's say, 30 to 40 times per season. That's already a good season, and then you can see that the batteries they actually last over 10 years. So we have the first electric boats that we've built, we still have them in use, and they're over 16 years old,
Amazing.
and you still have over 80% battery
Wow.
capacity, which is amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no more up to date technology. It's very old, but
Technology
to
from 10
still,
years ago.
yeah,
Yeah.
but to still have that capacity, I think it's great.
Yeah.
And the more the cars are advancing, or in general the batteries are advancing, the better it will get. And at some point, we will have to look at double the capacity at the same size and weight that we have now.
What type of person is a customer of Marian boats? What's your maybe typical type of customer, and
Yeah,
how do they use the boats?
I mean, we have such a big range in different boats. We
Mm.
produce 7 different boat models with engines from 4.3 kilowatt, which you don't require a license here in Austria, up to 450 kilowatt on the apt boat. So we have,
You need a power boat license for
yes,
that.
over
Okay.
4.3 kilowatt, you need a license for
Over
that.
four point
Yeah.
three. Okay.
And so we have quite a few people that want to buy the boats under 4.3, because then they don't require a license and they can have their kids drive the boats.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just like a bathing platform. You take it out, you go for a swim, you drive slowly around. So these are some types of the customers. But then for the bigger boats or for the more expensive boats, it's often people that own a house on a lake, and then they have their own pontoon or maybe a boathouse.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, if you have a beautiful house, then you need also a classical Marian boat in the boathouse with a good charging infrastructure.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that's our typical customers.
Yeah.
It's either the ones that want to have a power, like a license-free boat, or the ones that own houses or on the lakes.
So you guys, obviously, you're specializing in electric boats. How have you had to, let's say, modify the hull shape or just different considerations, like specifically
Yeah,
for electric performance?
in general, for electric boats, the most important thing is to be efficient.
Hmm.
So it's really up to the hull to make up for it. And an efficient hull means going into planing mode at a very early stage. And there's a lot of electric boat builders who buy petrol boats, and then they take the petrol engine out and put in an electric engine. It's the same as taking a Mercedes G-Class and electrify it. You know, it's not gonna work as successfully as a car that is specifically designed for an electric engine. And the
Hmm.
same is for boats. So our boats are specifically designed for electric engine. We can Most of our models, they come into planing mode at 20 kilowatts, so that's really really good. And automatically, from the moment you come into planing mode, you also have the highest range. Downsides maybe is that you don't have the highest speed when you come out too fast into planing mode.
Hmm.
But I think as the range is limited, for a customer to be able to enjoy his electric boat most of the time is to be most efficient at the planing speed.
Yeah, that's I think that's a lot of people's idea of fun time on the boat is get up on plane and be able to drive around for
Yeah,
as long as they want to have fun. And yeah, I mean that really, and really any boat, is the efficient speed is a slow speed, maybe 4 or 5 knots, and then passing that point where you get up on plane, and
yeah,
then you're
yeah.
anything that you would want to mention to people that want to know about your company and your boat specifically.
I think in general, people need to be or should be educated more about the electric boats, because
Hmm.
I see it in many of our markets where we just try to see if it would be a potential. People are straight against electric boats, and it's most people say, "What's the range or what's the runtime?" And then you say, "Yeah, 1 hour at full speed," and then they answer, "What? That's really bad. I usually drive for 6 hours the whole day." And it really, people need to understand, driving at full speed requires so much power that then obviously you're going to drain the battery quite fast. But if you go at a slower pace, you double or triple or quadruple your range. And
Hmm.
it's about that experience of driving it. And it's good that they or people shouldn't compare electric boats to electric cars, or even to petrol boats, because it's a different thing and it's a different ideology. And I think people need to experience it first, and then make up their mind.
Yeah, and realistically, most pleasure boaters are not full throttle for 6 hours.
Absolutely, but that's like the main argument that we
Yeah,
have.
I see.
And for example, I will talk now in kilometers per hour, because that's how it's easier to calculate
Hmm.
the distances. For example, you have the M800 with a 150 kilowatt engine. At full speed, it goes 63 kilometers per hour, and you can drive it for 1 hour. So you have a range of 63 kilometers uh, driving full speed, and I think that's actually not bad. And if the batteries are gonna get half the weight or half or double the capacity at the same weight, and you can increase that to 120 kilometers, I think that's amazing.
Yeah,
If you look at the biggest lakes in Europe, Lake Como, Lake Garda, they have a range of 50 or a distance of 50 kilometers one way, so you can easily make it forth and back at full speed. And it will require some more time, but I think we're on the right path.
with the coming technology in batteries, that's
Yeah,
probably very soon.
absolutely, yes. And then if we can also improve a little bit our infrastructure, then that would be even better. But for now, our main focus is, as I said, on lakes in Austria, Germany,
Mhm.
Switzerland, Poland, because here we have some limitations, and it's easier for people to accept electric boats.
Mhm.
And I would say that 95% of all our customers, they say that even if we were allowed to drive petrol boats, after having the experience of driving electrically, they would never change. And I think that's a good sign
What do they prefer with electric boats?
It's definitely the silence, then the smell, the pollution,
Hmm.
but also the convenience of having the boat always charged. So basically, they go out the whole day. At night, they come back. They plug in the cable, and then the next day it's full again.
You never have to
So you
fuel.
don't have to go to fueling stations. I mean, here we don't even have fueling stations. You would have to carry your canisters down, then drop or spill some petrol in the
Hmm.
water. And I think this can be avoided. And nowadays, electric boats are so powerful, and for most of the lakes, the range is more than enough. And I think we're going to the right direction.
What's the future of electric boating from your perspective as as somebody who's been doing this for a while?
I think the future is very bright, but I think that it will change a lot once the technology evolves. And an electric motor is the most efficient that is there is, and it's only the battery that can be improved and will be improved once the numbers will go up.
What you said earlier, basically, you feel that charging infrastructure and battery technology are the sort of two maybe bottlenecks.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
I think if and the cost of
and
battery,
cost.
because
Yeah,
if you have superchargers, then you can, for example, take less batteries because you can charge in the meantime.
yeah.
So you can reduce some cost there. But I think in total, if the cost would go down by a lot, then it will become more affordable.
Alex, thank you very much. Do you want us to show us around your
Yeah,
facility?
yeah, pleasure to have you here. And let's go around. I will show you what we do here in our shipyard in Austria, and then we can also have a look on our production facility in Romania. And yeah,
Okay, let's do it.
all right, perfect. Let's go.